Well, hey, hello. I have just finished the first two parts now of The Golden House by Salman Rushdie, which are big, hunky parts. This I am like, it's like 11 hours in, just about to start part three, and wow, well, things have, as maybe to be expected in a thing that's about Roman emperors and the Great Gatsby and Indian mob family who's fled India and come to the States. Things have not gone so well for the Golden family. Um, so yes, I think we've gotten to the narrator had impregnated Nero Golden's wife. She has the child. It's Vespian or Vespa, which the narrator bitterly thinks, you're just going to ride my son into your new life. But that doesn't seem to happen so much. Um, we start off with the second oldest son, Abu, Abo. Oh, I should really get the name because I don't want to be like Apu of The Simpsons. Uh, the, um, Goes to India with his girlfriend, and they have a whole trip. They get people saying like, you probably shouldn't be here. Your father left, and he left people not very happy. And indeed, the father is so worried he hires people, but the people he hires are like, yeah, we don't get much work from you anymore, and we get a lot of work from them. So we've jumped boat, taken their money, and they're executed to send a message to Nero that we weren't happy about how you left us. And yeah, that really slams Nero for one. And then his very youngest son, Dionysus, um, I guess in the fit of confusion of identity, about who he is, who she is, what she is, um, comes and commits suicide in the gardens, the communal gardens that the Golden House shares with the other people in the neighborhood. Uh, and yeah, kills herself in her full female garb, actually dressed in the clothes of his Russian wife. And yeah, now Nero's really worried. It's like, oh God, you know, this is it. Death is coming for all of my sons. Um, and we have this whole thing with this hobo, homeless person, who was talking about how in the beginning, like, we have to watch out because there's a conspiracy of guns. Guns are living creatures that are going to take over America and kill us all. And then a little scene of him with Nero in his grief over Dee's death, um, where he's sort of comforting her and comforting him, and quoting Richard III and that, but he gets kicked out by Nurse Ratched. Salman Rushdie is amazing of just whip snapping you into different things. We go from Shakespeare to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and it's like the Vespia uh, becomes Nurse Ratched, and kicks him out, and then our narrator Renee sees him at some kind of performance, and gets a story that he's actually a vet. And he says like, "Yes, I'm a vet. You want proof? Give me an unassembled AK-47, and I'll show you what I can do." And yes, a couple of days later, he does show everyone what he does. He gets a gun. He claims afterwards, as he's dying, that he was he was snatched by a bunch of people in Joker costumes. There's a wonderful, wonderful bit throughout all this where basically it's not named, but it's Donald Trump as the Joker watching the world burn, and everyone else really wants to watch the world burn with him, like a disturbing number of people. and it's all their fault, and it's everything's fake, and no fake news, and it's all rigged, and it's like it's all Donald Trump, but it's all Donald Trump through the Joker. And indeed, the Rene and his girlfriend are doing an ad campaign for the very competent but deeply unlikable Democrat, but running it as the Batwoman against the Joker, and as a kind of an anti-propaganda thing against them. But yes, so this Nijinsky is what they call him, is kidnapped by these Joker guys, given a gun, and he shoots up a Halloween parade. And amongst the dead are Petrarch and his Australian therapist, who had dressed as Romans and gone into the parade. Petra with his lynx cat, and the lynx cat survived, snarling at everyone, came close, and then once everything else was cleared and gone, the cat had disappeared. It's like, oh, so, it's like, I don't think Salman Rushdie is going for sympathetic characters. He's going for this super energy, the super bravura, pile driver to like all the kind of the stuff. There's a thing in here about how Dee's girlfriend, after he's committed suicide, has finally just sort of given up on identity. It's like it's first it was like, because of my Indian heritage, I wanted to protect goats because they were the most vulnerable thing in India. Cows are fine, but goats were slaughtered for their meat. And she went through a whole bunch of different things and then settled on identity. That was the thing. But now with Dee's death, it's like, I just don't care about identity anymore. It's like love is it. Love is the answer. Love is the wisdom. And she is, of course, then eviscerated by her former friends, her former ideologues. And it's funny, when Dee shoots himself, I felt a strange sympathy, a strange kinship for him in all of my talk lately about Black Lives Matters, about transgendered people, about my own desires, my treacherous desires, my own things that I seem to have so little control over, my own fears, my own biases, my own racism, my own way of, like, I'm not somebody who is suicidally ideating or anything like that, but there's a strange kinship with someone who just says, I can't take it anymore, and shoots themselves. I need the clarity of death. I need the oneness of death. Not as a healthy thing, but just, in some ways. Of course, I also remember this morning of just sort of sitting in this garden here, which is now at night, and just going, okay, I'm here. I'm this person. I'm not even this person. I'm just here. Here. So it's Rushdie is winning me over, but it's not about character as much as it's about the sheer just the whirlwind, the maelstrom, the everything, and the bravura, energy, and intellect that is able to kind of sweep this up and dramatize and portray it, maybe not portray it fairly and sensitively, and but it's there. There's like a power to it, which I'm really enjoying. Does he pass any the tests of ideology of our time? No. Do I disagree with him about lots of stuff? Yes. Am I just caught up in this story of this family that is just slowly going, and Nero, whose mind is slowly slipping, and this narrator who has Rene, who has the conversation with the girlfriend, who's saying that the script is like, these are all just aspects of your own personality, or and you've got to resolve your ambiguity, and the ambiguity being, between them at least, is that he has not told her that he has fathered a child with Nero's wife, And even in that, you start seeing that as human more than you see it as him being a bad person. I mean, he's being a bad person, but he's also just being a person. So yeah, okay. Lots of thoughts there. Lots of good stuff. I was worried at the beginning that I wasn't just going to jibe. I was going to bounce off Rshd. Um, but I don't know. This is going well as an audiobook, especially because it's just flowing by me, and I'm not trying to parse each thing as it goes by. I mean, this is a book you could reread 1,000 times, I'm sure. But yeah. All right, we'll stop there.